Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Lita. So, for your information, Lita is not my ex-girlfriend. Yeah, this is a podcast that talks about literature. Okay, so my name is Rido, and this is my partner.
Raisa.
And today we'll have a talk about maybe a movie, a novel, or maybe a music. Okay. Okay.
That's right. And today we will have a very fun team. So this team can reveal what someone feels inside. The theme we will talk about today is favorite literary work. Speaking of the favorite literary work, do you have one?
Of course I do, but I won't reveal it now because we already have our guest here, yeah.
Woo.
And this is our guest. Okay, you can probably introduce yourself.
Yeah, okay. Hello everyone. My name is Reno. You can call me Reno. Yeah, I'm here, the first guest. Thank you.
Hello, I'm here as the second guest. My name is Stephanie. Hello everyone.
Hello Devita. Hello, I'm the third guest. My name is Adinda.
Hello Adinda.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, before we talk about our main question today, I have a very simple question. Okay, if your favorite works became a food, what it would be?
Just answer freely, guys. With your answer, we'll decide whether we judge your taste or not. Let's go.
Okay, who want to answer it first? Okay.
Okay, so what would be the food? Okay, I think it will be cheese. Yeah, it's cheese. Why is it cheese? Well, I think it's because not a lot of people like cheese. Like some people really love it and some people really don't. So I think my favorite literary work is very like, it depends on the person. Like some people like it, some people just meh.
What
Okay.
kind of cheese?
What kind of cheese? I know what kind of cheese. Arabian cheese. Yeah, just read the book, guys.
Okay. Next.
Daphne.
Let me think real quick. But this is a really hard question, not gonna lie, because I, as the person who enjoys many food, for me, I think if I have to choose only one food that represents the literary work that I have in mind, yeah, I think it's gotta be pastel. Yeah, you know that pastry that has vegetable fillings and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's my answer. What about you, Dinda?
I think mine will be apple pie because the setting of the story is mostly about farm. Like there's a lot of trees, a lot of any kind of foods. So yeah, I think it will be apple pie.
Very interesting answer, guys. So we move to the main question. For the first, what is your favorite literary work and why did you choose it? Maybe Dinda wants to answer it first.
I really like Anne of Green Gables. Have you guys heard about that?
Is it the same with and with an A?
Yeah, it is. I've watched a lot of version, like Anne with an E, also the animation from Japan, the old one and the newest one, because I really like coming of age kind of story because it has a lot of life lesson from we were a child until we grow up. Yeah. How about you, Devita?
For me, I chose When Marnie Was There by Joan J. Robinson, sorry. Because the story has a lot of messages in it. And there's actually two different versions. The first one is the whole story, the main novel, and the second one is the movie adaptation by Studio Ghibli.
I love that.
But if I have to choose a side, I think I prefer the movie version of it because I'm more of a visual learner person than a reading person.
Yeah, I agree because the Ghibli version is very very beautiful.
No, right?
And Reno, what is your favorite?
Okay, what about me? Okay, well, I first fell in love with a character from a game, so I was introduced to that version of the character. So it's a derivative. So I know it from the adaptation of a character from a video game, and then I read the source material and also liked it. My favorite literary work currently is called The Stranger or The Stranger from it's a French novel by Camus. Okay, so it's a very classic story. Like I think most people, especially older people, might have already read about it. It's a classic. It's like psychological and also really a comment about social norms. Like I think that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, I think I have heard the work that you mentioned, and it's about absurdism, right?
Yes, it is one of the main themes of the novel.
Yeah, it's very interesting, I think. So, okay, we move to the second question. The question is, what moment or quote from the work stay in your mind? Want
I
to?
want to learn from the first maybe.
Okay. Let me think. I always think first. I think it's specifically at the end of the story where the story reveals who Marnie really is. I think it's really touching. It's real touching. To be honest, when I first watched the film adaptation, I cried a lot because it reminds me of my grandma. Yeah, if you know, you know. Okay.
So it's very personal for you.
Okay. Next.
Okay. Wants to answer next? Maybe Dinda or Reno first?
Ladies first.
Okay, I'm ladies too, yeah. So in Anne of Green, I will be talk about Anne with an E. No, it's actually any kind of Anne. So yeah, probably the moment when Anne is scared that she's going to back to the orphanage because Marilla and Matthew try to adopt a boy to help them with the farm, but instead getting a boy, they mistaken it and send it a girl, which is Anne. Yeah, that's a very sad moment, but in that time, she's not only focused on the sad feeling she had, she tries to look at the surrounding and she look at the cherry blossom tree and she's literally fell in love with the trees and plan to sleep over there if she's not being accepted with Matthew and Marilla. Yeah, and that's really touched my heart because I learned that in the bad things there's always a good things also. So yeah.
So did you cry during that scene?
I cry a lot. Yeah, I also watch it so many times. I always replay that kind of part. Yeah. Let's move to the
Okay, please. Next.
Okay, so there's so many good moments that I think I like, but I guess we have to choose one. Then I think it would be from the scene where Marcel was in his mother's funeral, and how he didn't really have a reaction. Like he stayed quiet even when the others are criticizing him. Like, why are you not crying? And just like why you're just standing there without any expression. And also, but also the difference when he was alone, and just the reaction and what he does really just emphasizes who he is as a character. Like maybe people don't see him as someone normal, but he has his own way of expressing himself. I think that's really interesting.
It's a very interesting perspective, yeah, actually, because different than the others. Okay, next. Did you guys think that the works is change your point of view, how to see? Sabar, ulang semuanya. Next question. Did you guys think that the works that you read or you watch make you guys see something different after you guys read it or watch it in life, ini specifically?
Change your perspective of life, maybe, or relationship, or yourself.
Yeah.
Let's go with the ladies first.
Why always me? Why answer?
Okay. You're right. Okay. How does the work change my life? Well, there's like two definitive things that I think changed my life. First is like how we see people with like a different way of thinking. Like not everyone think normally. I'm not like saying you are a freaky person. No. I'm saying that like some people, especially like in modern terms, like there's neurodivergent and neurotypical, right? Like we can interpret like Meursault as a main character as someone neurodivergent. Like he does not have the same like thought pattern as other people, and like we need to understand that some people do think like him, and also like we need to embrace like life. Like do not be tied down by society and how we should do things, and we can think freely and do freely too. I think that's it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, okay. Next, please. Daphne, yeah.
Does it have to be me? Okay then. For me, the literary work that I chose is actually change my perspective in life in a very whimsical way. Specifically, like I said before, the end of the story is really touching. And do you know the feeling when you finished watching or reading? I got that feeling a lot whenever I rewatch or reread this literary work. Yeah, I think that's my simple answer. What about you, Dinda?
Me, yes, it's absolutely changed how I see the life, because the character in the story told us to see good in bad things, also treasure the teeniest moment in your life because you're gonna miss them. You will grow up. Yeah, I think that's it.
You guys' answer is very touching, actually.
She is almost starting to cry. Let's move into the next question before she started to.
So we move to next question. Okay, so this question is my favorite question. So, is there character in your favorite literary work that you feel like this is so me, the character is so me? Yeah, like you relate to the character the most.
Okay.
Okay, I'm holding the mic, so I'm gonna answer first. Okay. What can I say? Like, of course, like how we relate. Like, of course, we tend to relate to the main character. Again, I think I feel a little related to Meursault because he's not really stoic, but he doesn't really express himself that well. Like he might be socially awkward too, but like he means well. Okay, like he doesn't do bad things, socially bad things, and that makes me feel like he's relatable. Like, if you strip away all the social pretenses, he's really just a person who wants to do good and just be good for the people. Yeah. For the people.
Do you think the character you love has empathy?
It's really hard to define empathy, because empathy, while it may be inherited, it's also a learned behavior. Okay, I'm not an expert in psychology, but it's also a learned behavior. Okay, so you can empathize with people. It can be taught. It can be learned. So I think by the end of the story, I think Merso has gained a little bit of empathy, if not just for the people who are close to him. So I think, yeah, he has a little bit.
Okay. Next. Dinda.
Okay, the character that related to me is probably the main character itself, and because both of us have the same way thing and personalities also, and we also obsessed to get a high what is it? Okay, yeah, score. Ambitious, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, we're very ambitious and very independent too. Yeah, I relate so much to her because sometimes I cannot ask for help and I really do my own things. Yeah. Girl boss. Yeah. Okay. Now you.
So-
Your turn.
So, why am I the one who answer the question in bentar, cut yang tadi ya. Okay, so me next, the last person who is going to answer the question. Yeah, same like Reno and Dinda, I chose the main character to be the, what was the question again? Sorry. Oh yeah, the relatable character. Yeah, I think the main character Anna is really an introvert. Yeah, she's an introverted person just like me, and she is very indecisive and she stutters a lot in speaking. Yeah, we have the same personalities. We relate a lot. Yeah, we are besties.
So I wanna ask, in a scale 1 to 10, how you guys relate to the character you love?
I think. What did you say? 11.
Yeah.
1 to 10, bro.
I don't know. I just want to say that 11.
That's over the scale, but that's okay. For me, I think it's probably around 7 or 8. 8.
You're probably 77.77.
What do you mean by?
777, okay? It's really detailed to the decimal point, okay? Very in character.
Wow, we didn't realize. Ulang ya, Tanu. After this segment, my watch list just got Wow, we didn't realize we've talked so much about your interest in literary works. And after this episode, I feel like my watch list just got more. How about you?
Probably the same, but the most important thing is we learn that literature is not only a picture or text, but it's also a door for us to see or to understand ourselves and maybe something or somewhere around us. Yeah.
Our surroundings, right?
Yeah.
So thank you Reno, Daphne, and Adinda for sharing your stories today in episode. So thoughtful, touching, and interesting, honestly. And see you in next